Hello friends, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the role of supervisor, then process of organizing the physical resources, and then we have discussed the principle of organizing. Now today we will discuss about the effective delegation. Now delegation is the very important thing. In delegation what you are going to do, we will allocate the responsibilities and authority to the subordinates. So in effective delegation, what is the need of delegation? A supervisor cannot perform all the tasks assigned to him. To accomplish the target, the supervisor should delegate the authority. A supervisor is a person. So it is not possible for the supervisor to perform all the tasks assigned to him. So definitely for that purpose, he need to allocate certain powers and certain responsibility to his subordinate. That is called as the delegation. Delegation means division of authority and power downwards to the subordinate. What is meant by delegation? In delegation, the supervisor is going to divide its authority and power and give it to the subordinate. Okay. सुपरवायझर काय करेल, त्याच्याकडच्या ज्या काही रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज आहेत, काही पॉवर्स आहेत, काही अथॉरिटी आहेत, त्या त्याच्या खालच्या लोकांना तो देईल. Delegation is a sub-allocation of power to the subordinate in order to achieve the efficiency of getting the result. So delegation is important so that you will get the better result. Delegation is a process in which authority and powers are divided and shared among the subordinate. In this process of delegation, your authorities are going to be shared with the subordinate, as well as certain powers are going to be shared with the subordinate. When the work of the manager gets beyond his capacity, there should be some system of sharing the work. Through delegation, a supervisor in fact is multiplying himself by multiplying his work with the subordinate. So in delegation what happens? It is not possible for the supervisor to accomplish the same all the tasks. So what he is going to do? He will delegate the authorities. Say example we are going to discuss. We will take the example of our college. In our polytechnic college there are 5 departments and one principal sir is there, a post of principal which is the highest post in the college. Now principal has the highest power and he has the responsibilities also, but is it possible for the principal sir to look after each and every student of each and every department? So what they are going to do, they will form the departments. So electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, mechatronics is there, computer is there, electronics is there. So these are the departments, and in each and every department there is one person who is responsible for handling that department or controlling that department. That person is called as the head of department, HOD. So the head of department is looking after the department, but if the head of department does not have authority, then there may be a dissatisfaction. So what happens? The principal should allocate certain authority to the head of department. In the same manner, it is not possible for the head of department to look after each and every class and each and every student. So what they are going to do? They are going to assign a class teacher or a class coordinator. That class coordinator is looking after that class. So definitely he is delegating his certain power and authority to the class teacher. So delegation of the authority will flow from higher level towards the lower level. The delegation of the authority is the base of superior subordinate relationship. For achieving the delegation, a supervisor has to work in a system and has to perform the following steps: assignment of duties, granting of authority, and creating responsibility and accountability. So these are certain steps that need to be followed while assigning or delegating the authority. First, he should assign the duties, that if I am going to delegate certain powers to you, these are the duties you are supposed to perform. Then he has to grant certain authority, he has to grant certain powers to him. In the same manner, after that, he creates certain responsibility and account. If you are going to accomplish this, these are your responsibility and you are accountable for doing this one. If this is happening good, then you are going to be rewarded. If this is not going to be happening, then they are going to be punished. So this is it. Accountability is very important. If you are not making the accountability, then your work does not get accomplished. Then advantages of delegation that we are going to discuss. Advantages means benefits of delegation. It delegation will reduces the workload due to division of work and allocate it to the subordinates. Okay, when you delegate the authority, so definitely your workload will reduces. It lead to the effectiveness in the work due to reduced workload. It gives chance to the subordinate to explore their abilities and skills. Okay, so in the advantages, what is, so they will give the chance to the subordinate to explore their abilities and skill. Okay, because they have power as well as they have responsibilities. Through delegation, the superior subordinate relationship becomes meaningful. It leads to the job satisfaction also. Delegation of the authority leads to a job satisfaction because that person is also get motivated that I have certain power, so that will brings the satisfaction to that person. It brings stability and soundness in the relationship between superior and subordinates. It helps to both supervisor and subordinate. This brings stability in the organization. So when you are going to delegate the authority, supervisor as well as subordinates feel that they have certain powers, and that will bring the stability in the organization. Then what are the elements of delegation? The first element of delegation is the authority. Authority can be defined as the power and the right of a person to use and allocate the resources effectively. When you are going to delegate the authority, during authority delegation, you are going to allocate certain resources. We are allocating certain powers to use and allocate the resources efficiently. You are giving the authority to take decision. That person should be able to take the decision of his own. It gives order while achieving the organizational objective. All peoples who have the authority should know what is the scope of their authority is, and they shouldn't misutilize it. So along with authority, responsibility is also coming on your shoulder. So you are not supposed to misuse or misutilize that power of your power. Authority is the right to give commands, orders, and get things done. What is authority? It is the right to give commands, orders, and get the things done. The top level management has the greatest authority. Authority always flow from top to bottom. Authority can be delegated. It explains how the supervisor gets work done from his subordinate by clearly explaining what is expected of him and how he should go about it. Okay, so this is important one. Supervisor will get the work done through the subordinate by clearly explaining that I will expect this from your side and you are to supposed to do this one. Authority should be accomplished with the equal amount of responsibility, as we are going to say that already discussed. Authority and responsibility comes in hand. So whenever you have the authority, you are also responsible for that one. Then we are going to discuss about the responsibility. Responsibility is a duty of a person to complete the task assigned to him. Okay, so in responsibility, certain task is assigned and it is the duty of the person. He has to accomplish that task on the time. The person who is given the responsibility should ensure that he complete the task assigned to him. If the task for which he was held responsible are not completed, then he should not given the explanation or excuses. Okay, if it is not possible for the person to complete the task on the time, then he may get punished or that thing. Responsibility without adequate authority leads to dissatisfaction among the person. So if you have only responsibility and you don't have any authority, then that lead to the dissatisfaction. As we already discussed, authority and responsibility comes with hand in hand. Responsibilities flow from bottom to top. Authority will flow from top to bottom, but responsibility will flow from bottom towards the top, and responsibilities cannot be delegated. The mid-level and lower-level management holds more responsibility. The mid-level management and lower-level management is have more responsibility. The person held responsible for a job and is answerable for it. While if he does not accomplish the task assigned or expected, then he should be answerable for that. Then next, accountability. It gives It means giving explanation for any variance in the actual performance from expectation set. Okay, so certain task is assigned to you and you are not able to complete that task on the time. Okay, or as per the expectation, then you must have to give the explanation for that why it is not completed on the time. Accountability means being answerable for the end result. Whatever the end result is, you are answerable for. If you are the responsibility, if you are the authority, then you are responsible for that. You should be accountable for that. Accountability cannot be accepted. It arises from the responsibility, and accountability will arise from the responsibility, and you cannot transfer it. You cannot escape from it. Accountability cannot be delegated. You cannot delegate the accountability. For example, if X is given the task with specific authority and X delegate the task to Y and ask him to ensure the task is done well, responsibility rests with Y, but accountability will rest with X. Okay, so now for example, if certain task is given to one candidate, okay, certain task is given to Ramesh, okay, and Ramesh has given to Suresh, okay, Ramesh has given the responsibility to the Suresh, and Suresh is not going to complete the task on time, but Suresh is not accountable for it. Ramesh is accountable for it. Okay, so X person has given the accountability, X person has given the responsibility to complete the task. He has given the task to Y person. Y person does not complete the task on time. Who is responsible for it? X is responsible for it, because the X is accountable for it, because the responsibility was given by the higher authority to X. So they will ask to X only, they will not ask to Y. The top level management is most accountable, and for this purpose the top level management is most